Hi guys, welcome back to my channel, Ticcing Together. As always, the goal of this channel is to provide education about and to raise awareness as to what it's like living with Tourette Syndrome. In today's video, I just wanted to have a genuine heart-to-heart little chat with you guys because if I'm being real, I've kind of been in my head a lot recently and it's been really hard. And this YouTube channel is kind of like my outlet, kind of like my therapy session where I talk to you guys and I kind of just vent and let everything out. So I kind of wanted to talk about that today and just kind of vibe with you guys and vent a little bit because things have been hard mentally. I haven't been doing the best and I just kind of wanted to have a heart-to-heart with you guys and just kind of open up a little bit more. This video isn't This video isn't really dedicated to Tourette's, but it's dedicated to mental health in general. Anxiety, OCD, ADHD, Tourette's, the whole gang is here. And I wanted to talk about some story times, just how I've been feeling, how my tics have been, and just kind of like a little update with you guys. If you haven't noticed, I'm wearing my new Overthinker hoodie. It literally says Overthinker on it because that is kind of the topic of this video. And I love it. I love this hoodie so much. And on the sleeve, it literally says, I'll show you. It says do the thing. So it's very inspirational and cute. But as I said, I've been having kind of a little bit of a rough time and I don't totally know why, but I have been dealing with like some trauma flashbacks from my younger years of like junior high school of being bullied. And that has been on my mind a lot. And I just kind of wanted to address it with you guys and talk about it because I've never really opened up to anyone about it and how hard it was on me. And I've literally been having like these nightly like flashbacks of these certain events that happened and I got rice. And it's been really difficult to kind of focus and stay calm and stay mindful. And Colton's been working a lot. I've been home basically alone every night. And so I have a lot of time to just ruminate and dwell on things, which I know is so bad and I shouldn't be. But that's just how things have been going. So part of my OCD that I've grown up with and I've had this symptom for literal ages is rumination on conversations. And this is also a little bit with my anxiety, but they kind of go hand in hand. When I was younger, I would be so anxious. And every time I had a conversation with a friend or a teacher or an adult or whoever the case I was having a conversation with, I would go home and that night before bed, I would be reliving every single second of that conversation, trying to convince myself that I did something wrong and that that person hated me. And this is massively due to my overthinking because I would constantly just be like, oh, I said this and they must think I'm crazy. And I would literally stay up all night convincing myself that I was some awful human and that I couldn't converse properly and that everyone didn't like me. And honestly, there were a lot of things that happened that kind of were like proof to me at least that people didn't like me. And I didn't have any friends growing up and it was horrible. It was very challenging. And I guess what brought this all on is I met a new friend recently and I actually had her over at my house last night and we had an amazing time. I love her so much. We get along really well and I had such a great time. But as soon as she left, I was in my head thinking, oh my gosh, she hates me. Like I'm the worst possible human. I'm not a good host. Like I probably said everything wrong. And I'm just in my head thinking how basically I can't human right, if you know what I mean. I'm not a good friend. I'm not a good person. And I just ruminate on these conversations in my head and it is awful. And yes, it is due to anxiety, but my psychiatrist also said this is a massive part of OCD because of the intrusiveness of these thoughts. And it's just awful, like awful. And so anyway, I had this friend over last night and like I said, it went so well. But then I started having all of these flashbacks from my childhood of like times friendship has gone wrong. Growing up with Tourette's, my therapists always mentioned like, you're gonna have a hard time making friends. And it was true. In elementary school, I had no one. I was bullied severely by a few individuals, but one person was like my notorious bully. And she would like sit across from me in class and mouth that she hated me, that I was ugly, that I was worthless. She would laugh when I would get hurt. She'd have me over to her house because I thought she was my friend. I was very naive. And she would accuse me of stealing things. She would literally like laugh at me for the stupidest things and basically just made me feel worthless as a kid. Fast forward into junior high, I got race. I didn't have anyone either, and the girls were so cliquey. Like, if you're in junior high and you're a girl, or if you've ever been in junior high and you're a girl, you'll know. Girls are the worst for being cliquey and being bullies. And so the main kind of flashback I was having last night is probably something that happened to me. It was probably one of the worst things that's ever happened. Like, in the grand scheme of things, it wasn't that bad. But as like a 14, 15-year-old, it still has like hurt me to this day. Basically, in junior high, all of the girls were very cliquey, as I said, and I was in a class where all the girls were very friendly to each other. But for some reason, I was always left out, and I didn't know why. I don't know if it was because of my Tourette's or my anxiety or whatever the case, but I was the one girl, and I kid you not, the only one that was left out of everything. And so I remember like confessing to my mom when I was in junior high, when I was like being bullied by these girls and not being like accepted into any friend groups. I told my mom and I cried to her and I was like, Mom, I am struggling so hard in school. I have no friends. My tics are bad. Like, I'm so embarrassed with who I am. Like, I have no one. I have no one. And the bathroom stalls were my best friends, which is so heartbreaking. And my mom, I remember, just got really quiet and she got really sad because like no parent wants to hear their kid is going through that. No parent wants to hear their kid has no one at school, eating lunch alone literally every single day. So my mom, being the amazing lady she is, wanted to cheer me up. And she decided to take me to the movie Dolphin Tale, which was released in theaters when I was younger, about the movie of the dolphin with like the missing fin or whatever. It was a really cute movie. But my mom was like, let's go on a mother-daughter date to this movie. And I was like, okay, like my mom is my best friend. I would love to go with her. So as we walk into the theater, I kind of like, I'm looking around the theater because the lights were still on. The movie hadn't started. And in like the second row of the theater was every single girl in my class, every single one of them. And they were there for a birthday party that I wasn't invited to. And I know it sounds not that bad, but seeing all of these people you've tried to be friends with and try to impress and try to show any semblance of like, hey, I can be friendly, I can be a normal person too, like I just have tics, but that's okay. And seeing them all at the theater and they all looked at me with like the most like pitying, sad, like mean looks. And my mom looks at me and she knows these are the girls from my class and she's like, do you want to go home? And I was like, no, I really want to see the movie. But I cried throughout the whole movie, silently, just silently crying. And we got home, me and my mom, and we both cried because like that was one of the most awful things to happen to a young girl, seeing every single girl in her class go behind her back at a birthday party that I was not invited to. And it wasn't like they didn't invite like one or two people. It was just me because I was the weird kid and no one liked me. And I don't know why. And it literally hurts so bad because now I have this new friend in my adult life and I still feel like that 15-year-old girl who's gonna get dissed, who's gonna get left out of everything, who's gonna be like, oh, surprise, we actually don't like you, who's gonna get their locker like literally engraved with slurs and swear words about my appearance and like things about me were written on my locker. I was laughed at, I was mocked, I was left out. It hurts so bad. And I've been overthinking like crazy, trying to figure out why. Like, why has this happened? Like, I feel like I'm gonna cry because like it's so hard to make friends even as an adult. And I know this is like, I'm not reaching out as like, oh, woe is me. I'm just having a story with you guys because I want to be vulnerable. And as I said, this is basically my therapy. I can't afford real therapy, so this is my therapy. I had people in junior high that didn't even know I had Tourette's laugh at the twitchy things I was doing. I had people just constantly degrade me and literally bully me for being like the smart kid because all I focused on was my academics and I loved being a student. Like I loved learning, but I wanted someone. I wanted anyone to be there for me to understand what I was going through. It's just really, really hard because I got race. I didn't have anyone in all of elementary school in all of junior high school and in almost all of high school. Every single freaking lunch hour, I was that kid that would eat alone in the corner and people would like walk by and not even look at me. Like, I just wish I knew what I did wrong, you know? And I have friends now, thank God, and I have an amazing boyfriend and I'm so grateful, but I wish I knew what was so wrong with me that people always leave and that people don't appreciate me. I've been really good at not ruminating on conversations anymore. Like, for the most part, I can go through a whole day and be really chill and not have my anxiety literally run my life. But the other day, it was like I was back at 15 years old and I was like, my brain was just running up all night thinking about what a horrible person I am, how I don't deserve friends because I've never had any, and that basically everything I know is a lie. And that is what OCD and anxiety can do to a person. It can make you literally go crazy because you're convincing yourself of all these things which most likely aren't true. I got rice. The communists are coming. Fuck. But you think it's true. And it's not, but you think it is. And you convince yourself so truly that it's true. I wish I could go back in time and like comfort younger me who was always alone because it was really hard. I don't know what happened like in my life. Like I said, therapists have always, like when I told them that I didn't have friends, they always said, oh, most of my patients with Tourette's don't have friends. And like they're seen as like different or weird. I've always been the weird kid. I've always been the kid that people think is too weird, basically just weird. Like I'm not normal to people. And because of that, I just have had such a struggle with my social interactions. And I wish I knew why. I wish I knew what I could do better, why these people literally bullied me so relentlessly for years. And I want the thoughts in my head to stop. I want to know that I can be a good friend. I want to know that I'm deserving of friends because I don't feel like I am. And it's really hard. I'm really sorry this video is kind of stupid. Like, I'm just basically laying my heart on the line and telling you guys a few stories. Obviously, there's been a lot more events that have happened that have led up to this whole thing, but I don't know how to fix it. I don't know how to calm my mind of all of these thoughts of basically just self-hatred, and it's hard. And I know a lot of you guys probably go through this too, which is kind of why I'm making this video, because I want to show you guys that you're not alone too. I've had people reach out asking me advice about bullying, advice about making friends, and I wish I had advice for you guys other than like, don't do what I did, because it still affects me. I'm 27 now. My teenage years are long gone, but the bullying and the lack of friends and lack of support I had in those years have really messed me up even into adulthood. And so that's why it's so important. I got rice. It's so important to talk about things in the moment and find your tribe, find your people, because not having that growing up has messed me up as an adult. And I truly believe I'm not deserving of love or friends, and I'm working on it. I really am, but I can't go to therapy. So I am just trying to figure it out on my own. And it's hard, especially with OCD and anxiety just being raging in my head. And all of these intrusive thoughts also really, really exacerbate my tics, make them worse, make them more severe and more violent, if you will. Like, I'll punch myself a lot more than usual. And it's really freaking hard. And I just wish that I could fix it. I wish that I was normal. I wish that I could have had friends growing up and not have been so bullied to the point where like my core is shattered. It's shattered. I don't even know. Like I truly, when I say I don't feel like I'm deserving of a friend, I feel that so deeply because of my past and because of all the bullies and what they said to me, how I was undeserving of friends, how I was basically useless, worthless, every insult you can think of. And they all just circle in my head over and over again about what an idiot I am. Again, I'm not making this video. I got rice. Je t'aime. I'm not. I'm not making this video for sympathy or for anything like that. This, again, I just wanted to talk and kind of verbal diarrhea what I'm thinking. And if any of you relate, I am so sorry, because I know what it's like to have no one, and it takes some getting used to, and it really messes you up. So if you're out there, just know that I love you, and there are people that love you. You just have to find them. And I do have people now that do, but I just feel so undeserving of it, and it's really hard. I think this video is kind of pointless. I'm gonna wrap it up here. I just wanted to kind of vent and talk about some of my childhood stuff, my trauma, if you will. Not even the worst of it, just the stuff I've been thinking of. But if any of you guys have been through anything similar, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry that you guys have dealt with that, because it is the most awful feeling. It's just like anytime I have the semblance of a new friend, I'm like, I'm gonna blow it. They don't like me. They're making up liking me because they feel bad for me or something like that. And I know that's probably not the case, but that's what my brain tells me. And my brain is freaking plotting against me at this point. But yeah, thank you guys for watching. Again, this was not exciting. This was pretty depressing, and I'm sorry. I will get back into some fun content soon. I want to film more Jellycat videos soon. So if you guys like that, please subscribe, give this video a thumbs up, stay tuned to the channel. If you have anything nice to say, like, I'm not asking for any sympathy or any support at all, but if you feel inclined to leave a nice comment, that would really make me happy. I love reading every single one of your comments. I got rice in a bag. Friendly. I'm friendly. Ha! I love reading every single one of your comments because you guys truly are like my support group. You are my friends. I am so fortunate to have all of you guys that watch and interact and subscribe to me and follow along and learn about Tourette's and listen to my pointless stories. I love you guys so much. I truly do. And thank you for listening to my ramblings. As always, we are learning together, we're laughing together, and we're ticking together. I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your day or evening wherever you are. And just know there's always someone out there who loves you, and you are deserving of love. And that's probably something I should take to heart as well. Okay guys, bye.